if you get shut down on one page, but you got another page with the same name, they shut that one down too.
Why are they shutting your page down?
All right, we cut Mario. We coming. Okay, so here we go, and we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a special edition of Off the Record Recording My Sound. Okay, we ready to go. Hold on one second. Here we go. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on both screens. Yes, sir. All right. Thank y'all for tuning into a special edition of Off the Record, the People's Podcast this evening. As we are just tuning in, the subject is why are millennials waiting to get married. And great panelists today. We got Rashad says, "Hey, Mushu." Rashad, okay, enough of that. All right, here we go. We got Marvin returning from top 5. We got Marcellus coming from top 5, and we have the first time panelists with Maryam. And we look forward to hearing their answers as well as hearing you all's thoughts on the subject. Okay, the first thing we want to know is we're gonna ask Maryam, what is a millennial? Like, can you give us the time frame?
Yeah, so apparently millennials are people that like are reaching adulthood in like the early 21st century or whatever, born between 1981 and 1996.
Okay, boom, perfect. All right, 1981 to 1996. That's what a millennial is. The next question I want to go to you, Marvin. Why are you choosing to wait to get married?
I think the first reason is financial. It's like marriage is first, like it's a huge financial obligation from the start to the finish. And like, you got to think, if it don't work, that financial obligation gets way more complicated than even, than everything you went through going through it. So I think the main reason is those financial reasons, and one life before you make that great decision to elope and basically combine your money with the next person.
All right, yes, sir. Okay, I'm coming back to you, Maryam. Okay, first, Marcellus, why are you waiting so long to get married? Well, not so long, why are you waiting to get married?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think that like if I'm being honest, I still have a lot of selfish tendencies. It's a lot of things that I want to experience like on my own first, before I take that step with somebody else. You know what I mean? So like, and I think that's a big thing, especially like with young men, is we naturally do have selfish tendencies, and we don't want to involve somebody into our life until we like either satisfy those selfish tendencies or we get rid of them. So for me personally, I still have some selfish tendencies.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right, and Maryam, why are you waiting to get married?
I think I can kind of agree with that. And also just, I don't see the rush for it. I feel like, marriage is a lifelong thing. It's not something that you just like try out one time to see if it works. So for me, definitely like the selfish side, but also I want to be my best self before I commit to someone else for the rest of my life. And I would hope someone else to do the same for me. So to say, oh, I want to get married because I'm 27, like, what does that mean? There are plenty of people that are out here at 27 that don't have their lives together, and don't have your life together can be a number of things, but are also just not in the best space mentally, emotionally, maturity levels. I just think there's so many different variables, and I'm not in a position at this point in my life to say, okay, bet I'm where I want to be, not even necessarily where I need to be to commit to someone else for the rest of my life and deal with everything that entails.
Excellent. And thank you all for watching. Naima says, hey, Mari Boo. Thank you all for watching. Wonderful response. My question to you, okay, I'll come back to you, Marvin. From what I'm hearing, everybody's putting it on yourself, right? So everybody's saying, I'm not ready. I believe this. I believe that. When it comes to the person that you're looking for, let's start there. I'll start with you, Marvin. Do you believe in the soulmate?
I don't. I don't think that it's somebody that's out there that matches you like for everything that you need. And that's how they make it seem like, oh, it's gonna be somebody out there that's just what you need and everything that you need. Like, I don't think that's possible. It's like, there's no way that this person that comes from such a different background is going to be exactly what you need. I mean, it's going to be, it should be more realistic and just look at it like there's going to be obstacles within that once you meet that person. And can you tolerate that? Is it enjoyable to go through those struggles? Then, you know, if that feels somewhat like a soulmate, but even then, it's never everything that you personally need from a person in a relationship.
Okay, Marcellus, come back to you. Mariam, do you believe in a soulmate?
Yeah, but I also don't think that a soulmate is somebody that's like just what you need. I think a soulmate is someone that you connect on a spiritual level, an emotional level, an intellectual level. And I think people can have multiple soulmates. Your best friend can be one of your soulmates. That doesn't mean you're meant to be with that person for the rest of your life in a intimate marital, relationship. But I think that soulmate is more than just someone meeting your needs. It's someone that is your equal on a certain level in your soul.
Absolutely. Marcellus, do you believe in a soulmate?
I'm iffy with it. Like some days I believe in a soulmate, and other days I don't. And I think that the reason why, no, but I'm just trying to keep it on though. Like some days, like when I say I believe in it, sometimes I mean that in theory it sounds very, very good. You know what I'm saying? Like in theory, hearing that there's somebody out there that can match you wit for wit, et cetera, that sounds good. But like my brother Marvin just said, the reality of the situation is that we come from such different backgrounds that the likelihood of me matching everything with her or vice versa is very, very slim. So I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I do believe that there is somebody out there who, can wow you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Great. Marvin says, Ronald says, find someone who could help you with the bills, split the bills with you. And he's trying to have 2 or 3 wives. Soulmates. Thank you, Ronald, for saying that. Okay. I'll come to you, Mario. Do you think that you're looking for someone who's similar, like the opposite of you, or someone who's very similar to you?
I think there's going to be someone that is opposite of me in many ways, but also very similar in a number of respects. And I think that's just a part of like who people are. I think it's a little self-centered to try to find somebody that is exactly like me. And I probably wouldn't want that. I can be a lot. So, I don't want someone that's like just like me, but I also don't want someone where everything we do, we're coming, head to head, or it's like a challenge or a fight. But I do think there's beauty in differences and also in similarities. So like a combination of the two.
All right, Marvin, come back to you. Marcellus, with you, are you looking for somebody who's very similar to you or the opposite?
I'm looking for somebody who is like super, super unique. And what I mean by that is like I like experiencing a person who I've never encountered before. And so for me, I want to be like, just amazed at your perspective on life, how you approach situations. So I'm looking for uniqueness, something that I've never had before. So whether she's similar to me, which would be a good thing, or if she's just the complete opposite of me, I'm just all about the experience factor.
Okay.
But I gotta say this though, she gotta listen to Kodak.
Marcellus, thank you for that. All right, so by the way, Marcellus is from Florida, so he Kodak Black is like Tupac or Drake to them down there, so that's all he listens to.
I know about Kodak.
Okay, so Marvin, to you, are you looking for somebody who's very similar or somebody very opposite?
For me, it really doesn't matter because I love people in general. I like experiencing, like just really learning about a person and what they came from, because I feel like it's always a lesson in what the next person came from. So it's not really if I want somebody similar. I just want somebody who like she alluded to earlier, the connection being strong. Somebody that you could talk to on a regular basis and not be annoyed, because that's a big thing nowadays. Like it's annoying to talk to people. But just being able to be comfortable around a person on a regular basis is really important. Not so much if we're alike or different, like because I feel like you're gonna be different regardless. But are we comfortable around each other?
Okay. All right. So Ronald says smooth. Ivan X easily says find someone who can help you be a better version of you. Naima says we'll start with you, Marvin. We just came to you. We'll come back to you. Come back to you, Maryam. Come to you, Marcellus. Naima says, what do you guys think are the biggest pros and cons of getting married later in life?
Well, I think that okay. So when we say older, I'm gonna assume that we're talking like in our 40s and 50s, right?
Just past the millennial age. So millennial age.
Past the millennial age. So I think the pros are you're wiser, hopefully. You're more grounded. So that could mean that you're less likely to get food. But I think the cons are you're sort of kind of past your prime, and usually get to a certain age, like hey, but it's true though, you feel me? It's true. And it's like once you get to be like 38, 39, and 40, I feel like you become less adventurous. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you like in a way you become boring. So it's kind of like you to the point where you like, listen, either you gonna act right or we just not gonna do this at all. You feel what I'm saying? So and I can totally understand that. So the pros, just to sum it up, the pros would be you're more experienced, less likely to get food. And the cons is that you boring, like you lame at that point.
Okay. Mariam, what about you? What do you think of the pros and the cons? Okay, no, before I ask you the pros and cons, Mariam, I got another question. Because with men, we don't have no pressure on us with a biological clock, right? So women, if you want to have children, you can't necessarily wait the same time that we wait. So is that something that you feel as a woman, do you calculate that? Because I can say when I'm 45, I'm going to settle down. But a woman, can you say that? Or is that a problem?
I mean, yes, it's something that like I think about, and I'm sure a number of women think about, like, oh, my biological clock. But people can have children all kinds of ways. You can adopt, you can do in vitro, there's a number of surrogates. Like, I don't think that should be like the number one reason why someone's like, in a rush or looking to get married. I think marriage is more than just procreating. So it's not like a huge concern. I think if you want to be a parent, that's completely different than like, I want to, birth my own child. I think those are like, I don't know. I think there's a level of like give and take there.
Okay. All right. So my follow-up question, I'm coming to you, Marvin. My follow-up question, and thank you all for continuing to watch. My follow-up question to you is, what are the pros and the cons of waiting?
I think there's a number of both, but I would say the most, or the pros on the highest on my list for pros are just life experience. And I also don't think that comes with like just age. I think it's a given with age, but there are people that are maybe 38, 40, 45, 50 that have, never tried new things, still eat the same thing when they go to restaurants. So I think life experience is important regardless of the age, but I think you do have a better chance of meeting someone that has lived a little, that can make, good life decisions, has some financial experience or financial maturity. They've traveled maybe. So you're given like a different perspective, and you're also probably not meeting someone that's about to play games. So I think that is like a number one pro. And maybe the cons, like you said, not being able to naturally give birth, but I mean, you don't know you can do that whether you're 40 or not. So I think that's a con. And then also, I mean, that just shortens the amount of time like you have